With the new year upon us, the Notre Dame indoor track and field team is gearing up for Big East action, and head coach Joe Piani keeps it simple for the squad.
Study our sport in many different ways. You can study it as an individual, or you can study it as a team. We look at it obviously in both ways. So we want to get kids individually qualified for the Big East Championship, but once we get that done, then how is this going to impact our total performance at the Big East or at the NCAAs?
First meet obviously went really well for everyone. We had like the most amount of qualifiers. It's weird being a senior. I was like the last ever first meet, I guess. But I mean, the training's been going really well this year, and like with the whole group. So like we're really positive, confident going into the season.
For the men, senior pole vaulter Kevin Shipper continues his stellar career for the Irish. Shipper qualified for the NCAAs in December and is coming off his second Big East indoor and outdoor crowns. He will look to lead the team in conference action with a positive attitude.
And when you make it to NCAAs, there's a lot of expectations for you coming on the next year, and I found that out from last year. And it's something you just have to deal with, and you just have to kind of let it go, and you just got to realize that it's a sport, and you got to work your hardest, but you also got to have fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it and really loving what you're doing, it's going to be really tough for you to keep focused on what your goals are. There's always pressure in any situation, and definitely have taken on a much larger leadership role in the past 2 years. And there's always, like I said, there's always pressure, especially when you get to Big East. I mean, we're always competing to be, the #1 Big East champion.
A senior in the multi-events, Maddie Budinger will look to take the young women's team under her wing. She has already posted NCAA provisional qualifying marks in the high and long jumps. She will also look to build off last year's success, where she participated in the NCAA Outdoor Championships in the heptathlon.
Well, I think just like being a senior, sort of being in a more leadership position, it's nice to have. I also have 3 freshmen that are training partners, or 2 freshmen and a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, that I have training with me. So it's been really nice to sort of be able to be a mentor to them, as well as like focus on myself. So it's been like a different atmosphere, having people to run with and train with, which has been really nice.
Don't ignore the freshmen. We've got some really good freshmen. On the women's team, we have the Barber twins, and they're both a little team in themselves. They're going to do very well. Fiona Palladino is one of the best high jumpers coming out of high school last year. She's gone 5'10". She's very good, and there's others. So that group is very good. On the men's side, Chris Giesing just ran 47.40 in the quarter. He's ranked #1 in the country. He's pretty good, and he beat one of our fellows, Pat Feeney, who was 2-time Big East champion last year as a freshman. So those kids are looking very good. And then we have Keith Mesidor in the long jump, who's really doing a great job. So there's a lot of young kids, a nice blend of young and old.
And in track and field, despite the individual efforts, this Irish team keeps in mind the bigger picture.
When we go to Big East, that shows through. Everybody gets really excited at Big East to perform at the best level possible. And you're going to see a lot more synergy and team between the actual groups. But when we get to Big East, it all meshes, and that's really the cool part about it, is that we really get to feel that real team aspect. And it's a large team, so obviously, as you can see, it's going to be a lot harder to find that, but it definitely happens, and we see it a lot at Big East.
For UND.com, I'm Ryan Camden.